Minasan, konnichiwa. Zamurai Engineer desu. In this video, we will again discuss about the highway safety design standards, part 2, about road signs and pavement markings. And currently, I think we are now on main module number 3. So let us proceed with that module. So this module is about warning signs. So let us design what do we mean by warning signs as used in our road networks. So warning signs could be applied to warn motorists of potential hazard, okay, on the road or in adjacent of the road. So side of the road, you see there are potential hazard. So we have to use warning signs, not only specifically on the road itself, but including those adjacent to the road. For example, there are steep soil on one side, and it may fall down. There are bricks that may fall down. There are stones that are big solid matters that may fall. So we have to warn the motorist. And warning signs tend to lose their effectiveness if used unnecessarily or too frequently. So a warning sign should not be used when drivers can observe and appreciate the potential hazard ahead under normal conditions. Take note of this, very important. So it must not be used because the drivers are actually able to understand the hazard that lies ahead. The particular sign to be applied to a specific condition shall be selected in accordance with the criteria set out in this module. Okay? To avoid ambiguity, supplementary messages can sometimes be used. Some of the common used messages are also listed in this category under the auxiliary series. So what are the classification of warning signs? So there are several classifications of warning signs. Let's take a look. So there are 9. There are 9 different types of warning signs. Number 1, horizontal alignment sign. That is W1. So warning signs, the type W sign. Okay. So we already through with the module number 2, which is regulatory sign, type R. So we are now in type W. Horizontal alignment sign is W1. Next is intersection and junction signs, W2. Okay. So in several intersection junction. And number 3, advance warning of traffic control device signs, W3. Then road width signs, okay, W4. Road obstacle signs, W5. Pedestrian and school signs, W6. Okay. School zone. Okay. And W7, railway level crossing. We have to warn. There are several instances, incident of accident. Supplementary signs, W8, and other warning signs, all in W9 classification. So let us proceed. What we can expect on the sign itself. What is the design? A standard sign shall be selected when choosing a sign for a particular purpose. No standard sign meets the condition encountered, a special sign may be used, provided it is designed in accordance with the same principle. Okay, this is the beauty of this design policy. Must conform to a certain uniformity design of the sign itself. In general, warning signs are triangular in shape, okay, with one angle vertical. So triangular. So this is the shape of triangular. Okay. Okay. One angle vertical. So it cannot be this way. No, cannot be this way. One angle must be vertical. No. So that is how we have to expect. No. So either like that or like that. That is what we mean by vertical. But don't do it in the vertical like this. No, triangle. Okay. So meaning we have to take notice of the angle. So and the color usually black, reflectorized red border on retroreflective white. Okay, red border, retroreflected white. Okay, the symbol is written in black or fluorescent yellow-green background. Okay, so either white or fluorescent yellow-green background. Yellow-green, light yellow-green. Other exemptions to this general rule are specified in this policy. The size of warning signs should be suited for condition for which it is required. Traffic volumes, speed, road condition, background lighting, and other factors will all influence the choice of the appropriate sign. Okay. By referring to the letter sizes, which are necessary, okay, the size of the text of the one who will paint the sign have to take notice of the thickness of the letters. Okay? So must be appropriate in size. And equating these letter sizes to the required sight distances and legibility requirements. Legibility, the visual acuity of those road users or the drivers. Okay? The most suitable sign can be selected for any particular condition. Condition on the ground. So there are conditions which, for example, it is near the beach. So the reflection of the light to the surface of the water would be so much, unlike in high altitude one. So there are differences in conditions. Right? The size of one side of the equilateral triangle shaped sign shall not be less than 600 mm. So 600 mm. So one side, no? One side must be 600 mm minimum. For a high-speed expressway, larger signs up to 1.2 meters are usually adopted. So 600, double that. So 1.2 meters. Okay. So 1.2 meters is the length of one side of the equilateral triangle. So equilateral triangle. Okay. Meaning 60, 60, 60 degrees. Okay. Okay, and where should it be located? Okay. As warning signs are placed primarily for protection of the driver who is not familiar with the road, it is important that their location and installation must be undertaken with care. For those drivers who are not familiar, okay, test runs should be made by day and by night from both directions to check the location and mounting of each installation. Must be tested. Okay. A warning sign should generally be installed on the right side of the road, right side, because in our country we are what? Left-hand drive. Okay. Okay. Our cars, our vehicles are left-hand drive. So we have to put up a sign, a warning sign on the right side of the road in the position so that it will convey its message most effectively without restricting lateral clearance or sight distance. Okay, so we already know how to compute sight distance, lateral clearance. Okay, so there are problem-solving computation with this. However, in special circumstances, the sign or duplicate sign may be erected on the left side of the road. There are some specific cases. Duplicate sign on the left side will usually be required on one-way roads. Okay, usually. Okay, urban areas, advanced warning signs should be placed at not less than 30 meters or more than 100 meters. Not less than or not more than. Not less than 30 meters, not more than 100 meters. Okay, for advanced warning sign in urban areas. Okay, and while in rural areas, okay, rural areas, so urban areas and rural areas, the sign should be placed at not less than 75 meters, nor more than 225 meters in advance of the hazardous area. So, in rural areas, we are expecting cars and vehicles to be traveling faster, unlike in urban areas where there are much more populous. Okay, so the risk of having an accident with somebody walking or along the road is much greater in urban areas. So 30 to 100. But while in rural areas, 75 to 225. Okay. So the safe estimate here is times 3. You know, 30 times 3, 90. So about 100. And 75 times 3 is 225. So that is a relationship of minimum to maximum. So we have a table here that gives us the idea of relationship of approaching speed, desired speed. Okay. So desired speed, stop 20, 30, 40 kph. Okay. When you are having approach speed of 50, 60, 70, 80, usually 80 is a maximum in our country in the urban area. So desired speed supposed to be 40. So and approach speed is 80, so 170 meters. The advanced warning signs distance. Okay. So this table indicates advanced warning sign distance in terms of meters. So 170 meters if your desired speed is 40 and your approach speed is 80. So we have 170 meters advanced warning sign distance. Okay. For hazards requiring reduction of speed in advisory speed as described in Section 3.11 may be used in conjunction with the corresponding hazard warning sign. Where it is desired to warn of more than one potential hazard at the same location, the sign shall be installed on separate posts placed at a distance not less than, okay, 0.6 vertical, 0.6 VM meters, no? 0.6 V meters apart, where V is the 85th percentile speed in kph. Okay, so multiply by the capacity of the road, the specs of the road. Is the road up to 80? So 80 kph times 0.6, that is what? 48. Okay, 48 kph, 48 meters in terms of meters. So if there are what? More than one potential hazard at the same location. So separate post must be placed at that distance, 48 meters. Okay. Signs indicating conditions that are temporary or intermittent in occurrence should be mounted so that they can be set up and removed easily as required. Necessary folding signs may be used such that the message may be displayed only when actually required. Take note, there are folding signs. So, meaning, if it is required, it will be fold up, then folded down, so that drivers cannot see it if the sign is not actually required. Okay? So, only in a situation where it is required, for example, foggy atmospheric condition, visibility is difficult, so you have to warn. Okay, there are locations with poorer visibility condition compared to other immediate vicinity. Okay, because of what? Presence of change in temperature at that location. Okay, mostly between sea and the mountain. If there is an immediate mountain and near the sea, there's a chance that temperature at that point, at that location, could change quickly. Okay. So visibility may be affected in some time of the day. Okay. So we know that there is such thing as folding signs. Okay, so this is the introduction to the warning signs, and see you next video, starting with W1 type classified warning signs. Again, this is Dr. EYPEI, preaching engineering for nation building.